welcome, welcome. Mind the scrolls, some of them bite. Where are we tonight? Let me check the dials. Dusty boots, angry kings, and a suspiciously open window. Ah yes, Bohemia1618, a tense little place with very big windows. You see, I've been to many rebellions, my dear, some loud, some noble, some very badly planned, but none quite as dramatic as what we're about to witness. Picture it, stone walls, stiff collars, and one very upset Protestant with a surprisingly good throwing arm. Now, I mustn't spoil it all, but I will tell you this. What starts with a window ends with a war, and not the short kind. So, wrap yourself in your coziest blanket and I'll pour us some tea. The good kind, with cinnamon and consequences. Ready? Good, then let's begin. Once upon a very tense time, in the heart of Bohemia, nestled beneath the cloudy skies of Prague, there stood a grand castle, a fortress of kings, whispers, and secrets. And in that castle, on a spring morning in 1618, something astonishing happened, something so strange, so bold, so defenestrational, it would set Europe ablaze for 30 years. But let's start with the quiet before the crash. Bohemia, you see, was a ticking clock. The people were a mosaic of Protestants and Catholics trying to live under the rule of the Habsburgs, a powerful Catholic dynasty with little patience for compromise. Emperor Matthias was growing old and he had chosen a cousin, Ferdinand of Styria, as his successor. The Protestants weren't exactly thrilled. Why? Because Ferdinand was a staunch Catholic, the kind who saw tolerance as weakness. He'd shut down Protestant chapels, ignored royal promises of religious freedom, and whispered to his advisors that Bohemia should bow not just in politics, but in faith. So, the Protestants, tired of broken promises and looming tyranny, did what any reasonable people would do. They held a meeting. But this was no ordinary meeting. On the 23rd of May, inside the dark halls of Prague Castle, a group of noble Protestants confronted two Catholic royal governors, Count Wilhelm Slavata and Count Jaroslav Martinic, accused of violating the rights of the Protestant people. The air in the room crackled with tension. No swords were drawn, no fists were clenched. Instead, the Protestants turned to the window. A pivotal moment in our story unfolds as tensions reach their peak. A Protestant steps forward with a resolute voice. "Protestant, you have offended the liberties of this kingdom and you shall answer for it." These words, filled with defiance, echo through the halls, marking a turning point in the struggle for power. Before the governors could respond, whoosh! They were picked up and hurled out the third-story window, 70 feet above the castle moat. Their secretary, Philip Fabricius, tried to intervene, and he too was tossed, a bonus defenestration. Now, here's where the tale turns from tense to absurd. Some say the three men landed in a soft pile of manure. Others say angels caught them. Catholic accounts preferred the miracle theory. Protestants? Well, they chuckled and said the dung was holy enough for that day. Remarkably, all three survived with barely a scratch. But what didn't survive was peace. That act of rebellion, the third defenestration of Prague, was the matchstick on a powder keg. It ignited the 30 Years' War, one of the bloodiest conflicts in European history, a war of religion, power and pride that would redraw the map of Europe and haunt its soul for generations. And to think it all started with a window? So next time you're near one, maybe glance over your shoulder, just in case history is feeling theatrical. Sleep well, dear historian. The windows are closed tonight. If you liked what you heard here, then please like, share and subscribe to my channel. And until the next, stay seeking history, my friends.